right, we've saved the best for last. The Sicoli Bowl, Cowboys at Raiders plus 3.5. Vegas. What a game. You guys excited? This is like
Oh,
a family tradition here. This is like Thanksgiving,
well,
Cowboys Raiders.
it's funny. We had the Cowboys-Raiders game a few years ago when the Raiders were bad and they upset the Cowboys. yeah. Can't remember what year that was, but that was a fun game. It could be a fun, you know what? It could be a fun game. Um, not going to
But
be a
who,
great, not going to be
but
a great game, but
but Bry, like what happens on Thanksgiving? If Parlay Kid and if the Cowboys lose, is it like change his attitude? If the Cowboy like I put me in the Sicoli house, like what happens? Is it oh boy, this is here we go.
I mean the Raiders for sure are not playing for anything. They're just playing for, try to be competitive, but it's not really ideal for the look. You're going to try to win the game,
But
especially against the
you're hoping,
Cowboys,
yeah,
but.
yeah. You want to
Yeah,
see it win. Come on.
it's the Cowboys, right? So that's a game you want to win, right?
Mm,
Because it's
yeah.
like, but it's funny, right? Because now I'm sure Darren will talk about it, but it's like you look at this Arizona Cardinals team, and they've been so bad, and then yet the Cowboys really struggled against them. So it's a hard game. Normally you see this in Quinn Williams on the team now. You're like, maybe there'll be some energy. The Cowboys should put up a lot of points and win this game big, but then it's also like, well, they haven't shown that this year that they'll do that. So it's going to be an interesting game. I am interested to see it, even though it means doesn't mean a lot.
All right. Well, Parlay Kid coming off what some people are calling your worst take in the history of Against All Odds.
Mm.
And that wasn't even had nothing to do with the Taylor Swift being over. That was just about the Cowboys trade. Give it to us.
Yeah.
Give us your bet. Give us your breakdown on this Cowboys Raiders Monday night game.
Well, yeah, that's the thing that's most frustrating to me is that the Cowboys really laid that egg against the Cardinals. Had they not, this game would mean a little something when, in essence, it probably doesn't really mean too much. Um, I do think this game will play out like more of a home game for the Cowboys. I think you're going to get a lot more
Oh yeah, for sure.
diehard Cowboys fans in Vegas than you even get at the stadium, where you get a lot of opposing fans to come into Dallas. They want to see the stadium. And now I think you're going to get the real true fans of the Dallas Cowboys travel to Vegas to watch this game. So I think there's going to be a lot of support behind the Cowboys in this one. I think the Cowboys defense is going to be energized with Overshawn is in the fold now. They got their second round draft pick in Revel from East Carolina. Should be available to play. Quentin Williams on that defensive line. I think there's going to be at least some excitement on that side of the ball for the Cowboys, especially when they're playing against an offense that doesn't really scare you. So I think they should really be ready to roll in this one. And I think the Cowboys offense, after really what was a very lackluster performance against the Cardinals, uh, and I really was disappointed in Schottenheimer, who I thought has been pretty creative this year in his play calling. I think in the last week or two, he's come back down to earth. And now after the bye week, I'm expecting him to rebound himself, put Dak in good spots. They should be able to run the ball. They should be able to use a lot of play action, and there should be a lot of Pickens, a lot of Lamb. Cowboys should win this game big. I think I have them covering the spread here, Joel, uh, easily in this one. This could play out to be, to me, 34-17 Cowboy victory or something in that nature.
Yeah, I don't know. Brian, it's so weird. I think I was talking to some other friends. Like this feels like a one and done Pete Carroll season. But then again, I mean, how many coaches can the Raiders be paying for? So
Well, I know. It's a very good point. I've said that a lot of times, right? Mark Davis is not like a rich guy. He kind of just lucked into this, obviously he's rich because the value of the Raiders, but
Mm,
not a ton of money. And you're probably still paying Gruden,
yeah,
McDaniel. There's a ton of coaches you're paying right now. So
mm, true.
you're right. You're right. But no, look, I do think, I think unless, if the Raiders are not competitive and they're embarrassing for the rest of the season, then you'll probably see this could be one and done. But if they're competitive still, I think they're going to give them another shot because again, this roster just doesn't
Mm.
have much depth, doesn't have a lot of talent on it.
Well, yeah, and he brought in Geno Smith, so you have to figure any coach that's coming in, they're not going to want Geno Smith. And don't forget, yeah, Antonio Pierce too, I think, is on that payroll
Mm.
probably. All right, Harry, give us very quickly your bet for tonight's Monday night game.
Yeah, I agree with Darren. I've said this on the pod before. What does Dallas do positively? They beat bad teams. They just usually do. And they also, this year against bad teams, they've been able to run the ball. So I'm going to take Javonte Williams over 75.5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Against the Giants, he had 97. Against the Jets, 135. Washington, 116. Arizona, 83. He gets it done, has a big game, and
Yeah.
over 75.5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I think.
shaved. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
Bry doesn't it looks super shiny, right?
It does. It does.
Uh
He does a good job, Harry.
It's the only part of him we're seeing right now. So I think that's part of it.
I haven't nicked or cut my head in probably 3 years.
you could drop a whole play on top of that
You
head.
use the razor, huh?
Use
Harry?
the razor, yeah.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. Bry, give us your pick. That doesn't
Gillette.
Look,
Sponsored. Gillette sponsored.
Joel, I was debating on this one. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of good plays on the Cowboys side, offensively, whether or not you're going to go, a touchdown score, whether it's like a Pickens or Ferguson even getting back in the mix. But I'm going to actually go, I'll take a Raiders one and I'll go Bowers over 72.5 yards. I mean, I think again, when you look, the Cowboys will have some defensive pieces back, but they have just been so bad defensively that you assume even, it's going to be interesting to see if Geno Smith can throw the ball against them, considering everybody else has.
Yeah.
But the one consistent guy, I would think Bowers will have, regardless. I think Bowers has a solid game against the Cowboys, so I would take the over 72.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, you would hope so. Just hoping that last week against Denver was an anomaly. That was brutal if you had Bowers last week on your fantasy team.
Yeah,
But
well,
most
you just
important,
see. I mean, you just
yeah.
see, right? That Broncos defense is just.
Hey, really quick before we go, I do want to give a little shoe talk because Steph Curry, his Under Armour deal is over. It looks like he's now a sneaker free agent, and he wore Nikes the other night. He dropped 46 in a win against the Spurs, and yeah, big. I don't. Harry and I were talking about it. Harry needs a new shoe deal. My buddy Justin Siegel, who owns Littles in Pittsburgh, we were talking about how Harry waddles and he needs bigger shoe support. And so Harry told me he's a New Balance guy. And so we looked at the new Cooper Flag shoe. I don't know if Mikey needs to bring it up or I sent you guys a picture of it. But Harry, what do you think of the Cooper Flag signature shoe for New Balance? I'll let you go first.
I think they're sharp. They're sharp. They look very comfortable, smooth. I dig them. And
Yeah.
by the way, I'm a New Balance guy because Darren, if you remember, our guy and sent me two pairs of New Balance.
All right. Well,
And
What? Really?
can you show it next time we're on? Can you take those New Balance and show us what they look like? They are, I
Absolutely.
guarantee,
Next time I will.
they are
They are
flat. They are flat
worn
and
both,
ruined.
so, yeah.
they're
They are
complete.
ruined.
They are completely warped. I've seen them. They're so stretched out.
Wow.
They don't even look like a shoe. I don't know how
They're comfortable. That's all I'll say.
they can slip on, even though they're laces, like they slip on. But okay, for Bri Dare, I'll let you weigh in a second. I'm looking at these shoes. Okay, they're very plain. They have a
Mhm.
few shades of green.
I like the green.
Cooper Flag is 18. This feels like a shoe for 40-year-old guys that live in Silver Lake and play pickleball. And they don't feel like an NBA star shoe at all. Bri, come on. These aren't anything great at all.
Well, it's funny, the other day, like I think it was probably a week or so ago, he was wearing, or 2 weeks ago, he was wearing those like bright green shoes that actually probably went pretty well with their uniforms. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, so when these came out a couple weeks ago, I know he's just starting to wear them, but it was very much like a white, old 40 to 50-year-old white
Exactly.
males will be wearing those shoes. They're probably very comfortable. Myself and Darren also. I mean, I wear a couple of different shoes, but I do wear. I do have over my lifetime. I've worn a lot of New Balance sneakers, so it looks like a regular shoe
Yeah.
we would wear, but it's nothing. Yeah, nothing splashy. Maybe the next one they do something They have to change it up after this one, make it a little crazy, I would
Yeah, I
think.
get that kids maybe don't, not everyone likes a LaMelo Ball shoe, big, bright, and colorful. Maybe it's like sleeker and clean now, but I get it. I mean, this looks like it, if he was looking to apply for guys that went to Duke that are now in their 40s, this is definitely he nailed it. He nailed it. This is a perfect shoe. But Harry loves him. Harry loves
Well,
him, and it makes sense because he's a big Maverick guy that thinks Nico won the trade, and